Hey everyone, Dallas here. I know, surprise, but it's once again I forgot to mention something. This is on me. I just want to congratulate Levi and Faith on their engagement and hope and wish them the absolute best. Now onto the episode. Ho ho ho! Welcome to the Beyond the Arc podcast. I'm Dallas, joined by Levi. Levi, how's it going?
Just keep going. You guys can see him. I'm not answering these questions today.
All right. Someone is being a cotton-headed niggy muggins today. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but let's Levi. Let's get started with the Louisville game. It's a huge game, obviously. I mean, Louisville is really good from the 3-point line and at the rim. You would like to see Tennessee try to run them off the line and force them into some long twos. This will be a game that you have to have that vintage Barnes defense against, like you see them play against Alabama and teams like that. On the perimeter between Michael. Did I say that right? Michael, or is it Mikael? Michael. Who
I don't
knows?
know. They yell at me all the time. I call him Mikel. I call him Michael. The Louisville fans don't know his name, and then neither do the announcers. It feels like a Santiago Vescovi situation where there's going to be never a true thing until he just comes out and says, "Hey, this is how you say my name." So
Say my name. Say my name. Anyway, Michael Brown,
that's not
McNeely,
a Christmas
and
reference.
no, it's not. And Conwell. I think your perimeter defenders are going to have their hands full there. I do somewhat question Louisville's toughness. I don't know if they've played a team that's going to be as tough and physical as Tennessee has been so far in the season. This is the game, though, that I really want Nate Ament to play really well. He chose Tennessee over Louisville. Their fans did kind of disparage him at the moment. They was like, we didn't really want him. He was asking too much money. He's not worth it. I hope that Nate remembers that and has a very solid outing tomorrow night. Also, worth mentioning, Dwayne Brown, the freshman, will be getting his first career start as I predicted. So that's good news for Dwayne. Levi, you have any thoughts on the Louisville game?
I think this game's going to come down to two things, Dallas, and these were the two things that I scraped up based off all the numbers I've ran. I've got this really good algorithm going, and those things stated that we need Felix Okpara to be able to handle Sananda Fru. It's the way the game's going to go. Okpara has to have a better game than Fru down there in the paint. Just it's just the way it's going to be. He's got to be able to switch. He's got to be. I think Brown does communicate really well, so I'm not too worried about switches and things like that with Brown on the court. I also believe that Jacoby Gillespie, who has a maybe possibly his second size advantage of the disadvantage of the year, except for against Houston, will have to have a better game than Mikael Brown. But I'm going to just go ahead and put it out there. I'm not worried about Conwell. I say this pretty confidently. I think Boswell can handle him, and I think that Abram and Berg can check him as well. I don't think they'll leave Conwell, but that's been a problem. We've had too many rotations. We've been leaving guys that we shouldn't leave. So I'm hoping with the balloons popping and all that fun stuff that these guys have got it figured out. But the X factor to me, Dallas, is Sananda Fru versus Felix Okpara. Who can be the better five guy?
Absolutely. He's been kind of wish washy this season so far. He's had good games and he's followed them up with some games where he just looks lost. It's going to be interesting, like you mentioned, to see how they handle that. And I mean, if you let them get going from three, they're going to shoot your eye out. Wink, wink. There's another reference. And I mean,
It's a good one. That's a good one.
you
I like that one.
got Pat Kelsey over there running around like an. I mean, he's just an angry little elf. And I mean, it's just as Santa, I prefer my good elves. Rick Barnes is a good elf. He's on the nice list. Pat Kelsey,
Yeah.
he's on the naughty list. He gets cold for his stalking. I mean, I guess for the prediction, give me the Vols 76-72. I predicted before the season the Vols would not lose a home game this season, and I'm going to stick to that. Levi, do you have a prediction?
I think Thompson Bowling's going to be pretty lit. I think it's going to be a fun time. I think it's going to be one of our better crowds of the year by far, based off the fact that this is the best opponent we've had in the building. A lot of people are waiting on this game. So when Thompson Bowling does, get rid of all the 972-year-old elves that decide to show up to the games, we do have good crowds, and I think we'll be fun tomorrow night. But I am going to take Louisville to shoot us out the gym.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Am
Levi,
on the
you're on the naughty.
Grinch.
You're on the naughty list now. I don't
I
like the
don't know
way
that I've
that
ever been on the
sounded.
good list. My
I don't.
parents told me I was getting colon. I got colon. It never changed. So
I didn't like the way that sounded. That felt wrong. So anyway, let's move on to
what'd you
this
call me?
week's. Let's just move on. Let's
Okay.
just move on to this
Pause.
week's college basketball picks. Levi, you did not have such a great week. You went 0-3. I went 2-1.
Yep.
That, uh, it is what it is. Current standings, I'm 12-8. You are 11-9. We have a bunch of neutral site games this week for the pick, and I'm telling you once again, whoever is scheduling these games as neutral site, it goes on the naughty list. These
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
home and home games.
Yeah, you need to be naughty list for sure. I'm tired of the new. There's no reason to do neutral site games in college basketball. It doesn't make any sense. It's all for net rankings, and I'm tired of the net rankings. Get rid of them.
If you put on the suit, you're the big guy. That has no context here. I'm just wanting to add that in. That's one I wanted to get in. Okay.
You're a fat guy. That's what you're saying. It's fine. Nobody cares.
Okay. Starting off, we have St. John's playing neutral site against Kentucky. Rick Pitino against this former team he coached some years ago. St. John's is a team I've been kind of down on. I'm not as high on them as other people were, even coming into the season. A lot of people had them in the Final Four. I saw them as a Sweet 16 at best team. However, they do play physical, and I think that's what you have to do to beat this Kentucky team. And you can't shoot 17% from three. I mean, you're going to lose a lot of games when you are shooting 17% from three on a lot of attempts. So give me the Johnnies to cool down whatever Kentucky thinks is possibly a heart streak here. Unfortunately for them, Elmer Fudd, Mark Pope, I don't think has written the ship, right the ship yet. So give me the Johnnies. Levi, who do you have?
I like the Johnnies in that one for sure. I'm just gonna leave it at that before I get too far into it again, like I have a few times.
Moving on, we have Duke on a neutral site with Texas Tech. Uh, Texas Tech, they're a solid team. Arkansas put them under. So I gotta go with Duke here. I think Boozer is just gonna be too much for him. Give me the Blue Devils. Levi, who do you have?
I'm gonna go to the Blue Devils as well on this one, not just to make, it a carbon copy, but it's just this week's picks are pretty, in my opinion, pretty straightforward on who you would like. And the overall best teams. I think that you have to go Duke on that one. Now, Texas Tech could mug that one down and make it a game, I think, but I honestly think Duke could probably win that one by about 15 plus. So I'll go with um, the Blue Devils.
All right. Moving on. We have last week Arkansas. They was part of the one of the games with Texas Tech that was kind of 50-50. It could have been a coin toss. This is another one Arkansas is part of. Houston on a neutral site against Arkansas. Now, if this was a home game, I'm going Arkansas. I mean, that's your house. You have to defend it. But on, I don't think you caught that one. But on this neutral
I got
site,
that one.
I'm going with
Good old Home
Houston.
Alone.
I'm going with Houston. Levi, who do you have?
I really wanted you to pick Arkansas here because I figured you would,
I wanted
but
to, but
that that style, this, our style of play, it doesn't matter if it's home, alone, or on the road. Um, that one's for you. Um, Calipari's teams do not like it when they get punched in the mouth a little bit, and they haven't played a team this year. I mean, you can look at Arkansas's schedule, and you could say, oh well, they've played Duke, they lost. They played Texas Tech and they won, but Texas Tech doesn't punch you in the mouth like we do. Guess who else punches you in the mouth like we do? Michigan State. The two games this year where Arkansas has had to play a team that will come out and punch you in the mouth physically, they've lost to. So I'm going to say, give me whoever the heck is playing Arkansas
Houston.
because no, no, I'm just saying if they're
Oh,
playing, I was gonna continue. You're Mr. Stroke Your Beard weirdo. But yeah, there's no chance that I'd pick anybody against Houston that could that will just be willing to just play the finesse style that Arkansas does. So I'm definitely taking Houston in that one. But then again, Dallas, I don't know that our team punches people in the mouth this year as much as they have in the past. And we continue to be reffed like we are the type of team that's going to come out and punch you in the mouth. And that's starting to get a little old for me. So before I get
yeah. I
off
mean,
topic, we'll continue.
well, we can talk about it just a little bit. I mean, I do think the officials have been kind of unfair to Tennessee. I mean, it's strange how each man's life touches so many other lives. I mean, whatever they do is affecting the Tennessee fan base. And I mean,
You're going to have to edit like half this podcast. You know that, right?
why?
Continue.
But I mean, seeing is believing, and believing is seeing. And until I see Tennessee come out as the punch you in the face team, I think the referees definitely have to come back and kind of reevaluate how they call Tennessee. But moving on, I switched my notes up here. Moving on to hardly known Hooper, or as I want to call it this week, Santa's good elf. I'm going
Fair.
with Colorado State's Josh Pascarelli. He's a very impressive shot maker, really, shooting 54% from three. He's just a junior, 15 points per game, 56 overall again on the field. Had 26 points against the state rival Colorado on 8 of 10 from three. I mean, he's just some of the shots he makes coming off curls and some flare screens, some floppy screens. It's just amazing to watch the shot making. I mean, it's like hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol? I mean, it's amazing, but just
That was one of your worst ones, but
it's staying in anyway. Levi, who's your hardly known Hooper or Santa's good elf?
maybe a guy that some know. Um, but Rink Mast from Nebraska. Um, I figured surely quite a few know him. He had a pretty solid year for Nebraska last year from Bradley a couple years back. He's the reason that you can look at Nebraska and say this is an 11-0 basketball team. And it takes all that just to drink smart. Anyways, um, across the board, he is top 250 in the country with offensive rating, possession of percentage of shots, efficiency,
It's a Butte Clark.
efficient field goal, efficient field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, offensive rebound percentage, and assist rate. So he's across the board. He's also shooting 43% from three. So Rink Mast, he's from Netherlands, and he wears number 51, which is just another reason to pull for the guy. Plus, why wouldn't you pull for Nebraska basketball? I mean, they're like us in basketball. They just don't have the repertoire of basketball that we do. I feel like at the end of the day, if it is not Tennessee, I gotta pull for Nebraska because they've never done anything. So
I mean,
uh,
yeah.
I don't think they have a single NCAA tournament win in in their history, actually. I could be wrong on that. I may be thinking Northwestern, but I'm quite sure. Yeah. Not that year. I'm pretty sure they do not. Yeah, they just zero for the history of the NCAA tournament. Nebraska has never won uh, an NCAA tournament game. So why wouldn't you pull for Nebraska? You know,
Yeah, I mean it's like every
they
time
have the
a
nation's longest win streak at 15, by the way, as well.
I mean it's like every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, and every time a team that's never won an NCAA tournament gets a win in the NCAA tournament, you just have to celebrate it. I mean, but right, Mast, he is a solid player. I mean, I watched him earlier in the year, a few games, and there's a few times I was like, "Oh fudge," except for I didn't say fudge. Um,
Hmm.
but
He was also
anyway,
about 25 years old.
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that graphic I sent you a couple of days ago. Might have been yesterday, actually. Did you remember the one that talks about the oldest and youngest college basketball players in the country? Let me get it pulled up here. It's not too far back. Here we go. Ramel Bethia, 29 years old, college sophomore. What's your thoughts on that, Levi?
I don't know why I can't still be hooping.
That was kind of something that when I saw it, I was like, man, I thought it was over once I got past 21.
Sorry.
Just a little rehab. Got water coming out of this beard, it's going everywhere. But it was like, I mean, if get this knee right, hell, I could be out there next week. But did you see his timeline?
No, I have. Who does he play for again?
He currently plays for Green Bay, I believe Doug Gottlieb's team.
Oh God, those two. Did you see him the other day tweet about? I think it was yesterday. He tweeted about like a college basketball player or something, and
Yeah,
everybody was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, you should probably try to win like a few games before you start talking about it." That's still the weirdest hire because he still does his podcast every day.
yeah.
Like, he still
Very.
does his Fox Sports stuff, and
It would be like if I was hired by for Tennessee basketball coach and we still done this podcast.
no, I don't know about that. Let's see,
But I mean,
what
you
is
look at
his? Oh, he barely plays.
yeah, he barely plays, but when you look at
Wait,
his
this is
story,
it? This is his first year.
yeah, this is his first year at Green Bay, but yeah, he went from Friendly High School, which I have no clue where that's at, in
Friendly?
2010. Friendly. He played from 2010 to 2014. Then he worked at Dunkin' Donuts in 2014, which good list. I mean, if he was Starbucks, bad list, naughty list.
Yeah, I agree.
Harris Harris Teeter Grocery from 2015 to 2019. Then he was in the U.S. Navy from 2019 to 2024. And then he went to Miracosta College, which again I have no clue where that's at. Spent a year there, and now he's on his sophomore season at Green Bay, which, like you say, he's not playing much at all. He probably can't because his knees are probably absolutely shot. But I mean, it's just a wild story and something that you only really see in college athletics and college basketball too. I mean, we had who was it for Tennessee that worked at Dollar General for like a year before he.
Bryce Young. Byron Young. I'm sorry.
But I was gonna say I think it's Byron Young. I was
Yeah, but
my brain
he's
was
he's
processing.
you know an all NFL level football player at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, you never know who you walk into when you go into your Dollar General. You may just be up looking at a next future NFL defensive lineman. But I mean,
I don't know
yeah,
if I
you
saw
got
that guy restocking the shelves, there probably wouldn't be too many racks rolling around in there like if you go to the normal ones around here. So
yeah, it's an absolute
I want to
mess.
look at. I want to ask you one more question about Louisville, Dallas. I don't with the way we have played in the last few games, it's a very concerning style of play, and our guys seem to want to possibly uh, allow the other team to dictate the type of play. We allowed Syracuse to do it heavily. We allowed Kansas to do it the entire second half. Um, I I don't think we did as much against Illinois until it started to feel like it got a little out of hand there towards the end, and then we just kind of let them dictate the pace of play again. I wonder if you're concerned whatsoever on the do we continue to allow teams to dictate pace of play and the way the style of play is going to go, or do you think that this team can truly turn that around?
Well, I mean, if you're going to beat Louisville, you can't let them dictate the pace of play. So I think we're going to find out Tuesday night if this team is going to turn it around and start dictating the pace of play on their opponents instead of having their opponents dictate the pace of play on them. Because I mean, if you go into Louisville and you try to turn it into a track meet, you're going to get run off the court and it's going to be pretty ugly. But I'm not worried at the moment because I mean we're still only what 11, 12 games into the season.
Yeah,
I
this
think,
is the 1/3 mark for our season. So right here tomorrow
yeah,
is that doesn't count the SEC tournament, which if I
yeah,
was Barnes, I'd just say let's sit at the house and practice, but he won't.
yeah. I mean, I really, when I look at the schedule, I only count 3 or 4 games that Tennessee's played. So if you ask me, Tennessee's like 1-3, which
Yeah.
sounds a lot worse than 7-4, but whatever. But I mean, in those games, they've against Houston, they done a good job. Which I don't know if, like you said, I mean, it could be Tennessee dictating the pace of play, or it's Houston dictating the pace of play because both teams play the exact same. So it's
Yeah,
hard to tell.
that's where I think that came to it.
It's
So
hard to tell. I mean, I think the best answer is we'll find out tomorrow. I really do.
yeah, we'll I'll be there. So uh
Did you
and
find
thanks to
tickets?
you. Well, I mean I had to get rid of mine to I could get rid of mine for I'm not gonna say it on here why I did it, but
I was gonna
I got
say,
tickets.
I was gonna say I could get in my big red sack over here and see if I have any in there, but I'm not so sure
I
if I
don't think
do.
you do that. I don't think you had anything for me in there,
I don't
but
think I
that's
do
okay.
either.
But
I got an
anyways,
ink pen.
well,
Whatever you can
they
do
didn't
with
blow
that.
up this time.
No, no, it works. Works very good. But anyway,
That's good for
Levi,
you.
do you have anything else you want to add before we get off of here?
No,
All right.
I'm good.
That's sounds good to me. Guys, we're going to be taking next week off. It's a celebrate Christmas. Just remember why you have Christmas. Even though Santa is the main talking point, you always have to remember that we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And I mean, as long as you remember that, you're going to have the happiest Christmas you can possibly have. I don't know if you got that reference or not, but
That was a
anyway,
good one. That was a good one.
tune in 2 weeks from now. And until then, keep the change, you filthy animal. Go Vols.